Hello and welcome to Beyond the Finish Line, the podcast for runners of every pace, every distance and every goal. I am your co-host, Georgia. I am a 5-time marathon runner, a content creator. I am a co-host of the Performance Project and I'm training for my first triathlon. Today, we're going to chat about all things social media, becoming a social runfluencer. We're going to answer all of your questions that you left for us in our question box. And we're going to talk about our highs and lows for the week. But before I do that, I better introduce you to the other half of this podcast, Coach Matt. He is a 5-time Ironman. He is a ultra marathon runner. He is the other half of the Performance Project, the founder of the Performance Project. And you guys, he is currently training for Cozzi 100, which is absolutely crazy. How are you going, Matt?
I'm good, Georgia. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Did you breathe during that intro at all?
No, I think I'm going to pass out. I didn't breathe at all. There was no breath. Am I red? I feel like I'm red. But no, I'm good. And I almost told myself today, I was like, no, we're not going to talk about the intro because we always talk about the intro.
Yeah.
And I practiced it a little bit in my head because I was like, I'm going to nail it. So there's nothing to say about it. And then I stuffed up. But anyway, we are only human, so it's fine.
I feel like it's in your head now. I feel like you talk so much in public and you never have an issue, but you just worry about this intro every week.
I know. It really gets to me. I think just because it's so much to say in one sentence that I never breathe. I'm going to pass out. But anyway, that's fine.
That's why I chuck random shit in. When I do random shit, that's my pause.
I was trying to be so good and be like, right, don't forget the Performance Project, Georgia, is so important. Don't forget, make sure you say that about Matt because that's so amazing, like he's a founder and all this stuff. And then I got in my head about it. So, hey, what's new?
Yeah. Just make it up on the fly, mate.
Look, it's just me now. This is my personality now.
This is fine.
This is fun.
That thing with Ralph and everything's on fire and he's like, this is all right.
That's me every week. Anyway, that's fine. Look, we do hard things, and this intro is my hard thing every fortnight. Anyway, how are you going, Matt? What are your highs and lows for your week? Got Cozzi coming up?
Yeah, honestly, I'm in the bit of the belly of the beast in the washing machine at the moment, which has sort of finished the first of 2 peak weeks. 112 Ks of running, which is pretty big, like 20 hours of total training, including strength and bike. So, yeah, just getting through it. We're going down to Cozzi on Friday to, I'm going to run the whole course over 3 days and just do some like strategic planning and think about where I can actually attack the course and try and make up some time and where I'm going to rest and all these sorts of things. Yeah, I've decided originally Cozzi was just going to be a fun race to go out and enjoy it. And then I started getting fit and started enjoying it a bit. And now I'm like, I'm going to try and rock a top 10 age group finish. So
that's a fun goal.
Yeah. It's, I'm not going to, it's not like Ironman where if I don't get it, I'll be upset. But if I can run somewhere between 12 and a half to 15 hours, I'll be right in that window. So if I can do that, I'll be really happy. If not, I'll still be really happy. It's still cool.
Yeah, still super cool. I love that. Yeah. That's a different kind of goal. I know, obviously, for Ironman, you talk about, wanting to get in your age group and stuff like that so you can go to Kona. But it is nice to see you going, it's not a time-based goal as much. It's more just beating everyone else behind, top 10.
Yeah, it's also hard because you don't really know who's in your age group. There's no like markings or anything. You just got to be like, he looks about 30. I'm going to race him.
Just going to overtake him just in case.
Yeah, just in case. Exactly. Yeah. So,
dear.
And then lows. I'm still sort of working out what's going on with my shoulder. I'm supposed to be starting Ironman prep. My first week of Ironman prep is meant to be week 1 of my taper. So that's
fun.
That's how tight my turnaround is. And I still can't swim. So I don't know what's going on. I'm just kind of in limbo with it.
So you've had a rotator cuff injury. What does that feel like? Where is that? Like just in the top of your shoulder? Like it hurts to do a stroke, or what's the feeling?
run down like the back of your top of your shoulder, so from your
Okay.
trap down, and then straight down through the middle of your bicep into your supraspinatus. Basically, I'm like at a 3 out of 10 pain just sitting around all day. Like it just hurts all day.
Yeah.
And then obviously when you take a stroke, you've just got no power. So when you're at that full range of motion, if you're doing a swim stroke and you try and pull, basically sends a lightning bolt from your bicep all the
Yeah.
way through to your neck, and you just have you can't pull. There's no power.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like swimming one armed. But and then if you do swim, you're sort of sore for, like, when I say sore, a 7 out of 10 for 3 or 4 days afterwards.
Right. I was going to say,
Mm.
can you get in the pool with like a kickboard or something and not use your arms? It's not really worth it.
It's just not what I'm training for. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the steps from here? Just seeing a like specialist, or
Yeah,
what do you do
seeing
with that?
all the specialists, physio every week, rehab twice a day, every day. And it's just like we're like at 80 to 90% recovered. It's just like this last 10 to 20% it's the guts of it. Like it really takes a long time. It's like coming back from a soft tissue injury. And if you come back too early, you go back to like 20% recovered and you just re-injure it. So yeah, it's just rehab and just putting load into the muscle, and stress and stimuli makes the muscle grow. So that's just what we're doing.
Classic.
Yeah, and then hopefully, if I can swim by week 2 of prep, I'll go ahead with the Ironman. If I can't, then like I really have to consider not doing it and getting surgery.
Yeah. Right. Probably a smart choice. So you
Yeah,
can.
just a bit. I mean, I don't want surgery because like the rehab time's so long, and it's like no running because of the movement, like the swinging up and down. There's no cycling. There's no nothing. There's no strength training. It's just arm in a
Yeah.
sling for 8 weeks. So
Oh,
yeah, it's a big one if I do it.
that's brutal for you, because I know how important training is for you. So
Yeah, so that's why we're doing everything for not get surgery. Like
yeah.
I could have just not done Cozzi, got the surgery, and we'd be sweet by now. But obviously for my mental health and whatnot, it's probably not worth it.
Yeah. But you probably didn't realize it was going to get to this point, right, where you
That
might
too,
be
yeah.
needing surgery. You're like, oh, I've
Yeah.
done a bit of damage, but not as far as this.
Yeah, exactly that. So anyway, that's where we're at, highs and lows. How about you, Georgia? The triathlete.
Yeah, the triathlete. Although I didn't do any biking last week, so I don't know how much of a triathlete I am at the moment.
Georgia. Cycling.
Sorry, cycling. Biking. What an idiot. Sorry, far out. I'm learning. I didn't get on the bike, is probably what I should have said last week. For no other reason other than I just didn't have time. So that's okay. This week, I'm definitely getting on the bike. I'm going to go cycling this week. And it's Monday, which means I get to go to the pool, which I'm so excited for. I love the pool. Yeah, no real highs that I can think of. Had a great week at work. Some personal kind of accomplishments at work, which has been really great. Yeah, and then, great things happening with the Performance Project. We've got heaps of new athletes coming on, which I'm so excited for, kind of planning some events and stuff for end of this year and next year, which is exciting, and I love doing that stuff. But yeah, that's really good. But lows is, at the moment, struggling a lot with my running, and it's really putting me down. I did a really great session on Wednesday, really pushed myself, but then, yeah, my hip just got really bad after Wednesday, I think just because I pushed myself too much. And then saw the physio on Friday, and he was just kind of like, mate, like, we're basically pushing shit uphill. He was just like, what are we doing here? He said, you're supposed to be resting after the marathon. You're not resting. You signed up to another half marathon. And yeah, he was just like, we need to start looking at some other options. And yeah, my run on Sunday wasn't great. It was really mentally tough. I wasn't feeling good. My hip was really sore. And so at this stage, I think I'm pulling out of the half marathon. I haven't fully pulled the pin yet, but
yeah, she has. She's done.
Yeah, like I'm pretty mentally checked out. I think I just really thought about it yesterday, and I was like, I'm not gaining anything from doing this half marathon. I originally did it to do it with my sister-in-law, and she can't do it anymore. So I'm like, I'm not doing it for any other reason and it's not for content because I haven't been doing any content because I've been feeling crap around it. It's not for a personal best. It's not to have fun because I'm not enjoying running. So I was just like, why am I making my injury worse? So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. But yeah, I'm feeling a little bit down about it, but that's okay.
It's
Yeah.
just normal. It's just
Yeah.
life.
It is just life. And I had some lovely messages this morning from people who follow me. And one in particular, she was just like, this is so normal. And the fact that you're actually showing the normal side of things is so refreshing because, so many people on social media are just like, I'm getting a PB, I'm doing another marathon, I'm doing this, I'm getting faster, I'm running sub 3 and all these crazy, amazing goals. And I guess that's what makes me keep doing more because I'm like, oh, that person did it. Now I've got to go do it or I've got to be better. And I think it's actually a nice breath of fresh air to have someone who's just like, you know what, this is a bit shit.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at, but that's okay. That is all in the life of being a runner. It's not going to be
It's the
amazing.
life of anything, mate. Like,
yeah.
Anything where you're pursuing goals, there will be highs and lows. That is just life.
Yeah. And I really did say to myself, I'm going to stop and take a break after the marathon. I was like, no, I've just got to get to the marathon. I promise I'll stop. I promise. And then I didn't. And I'm mad at myself for not stopping. So I'm forcing myself and I'm going to get into triathlon training. And I think the 1 or 2 runs a week is going to be perfect.
Yeah. And obviously taking all that impact out as well with the swimming and the cycling, like it's only going to help. And sometimes it's just like for me, like when I started trail running, I was so not burnt out of Ironman, but I just like didn't have the mental capacity to do it. And the last like maybe 7 to 10 days, I've been like, I cannot wait to like start triathlon training again. So it just comes around.
Yeah, I think it will. I think, start of next year and stuff, once I've kind of gotten through the end of year busyness at work and I can start just running for fun again, I think I'll be fine. I mean, of course I'll be fine, but
Yeah.
It's hard to admit. But anyway, that's fine.
I think just the most important thing, and like you said it to me in a text and you quoted me, was like, it doesn't serve you. Like,
yeah.
Like what are you doing? Like if there is no upside, then it's just like, why put your body through it? Like, do something you want to do. Have fun.
Exactly. Yep. Definitely true. I said it wasn't going to serve me. You were like, great, let's do something fun. Don't worry about it. Like, let's move on. And then I was like,
I'm pretty sure I was a little bit more abrupt than that.
Yeah, he was. I was like, oh, I'm really scared of like, I'm worried that I'm failing. And you were like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, I'm giving up on the race. And he was like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, that's exactly
Which
what
I loved.
Yeah.
I laughed. It made me laugh. And I went, okay, who actually gives a fuck? Like, just no one cares that much, Georgia.
Georgia, if you stop running on social media tomorrow and just said, I'm going to do triathlon or I'm going to become a cyclist full time, like no one would give a fuck. They'd be like, cool, that's what she's doing now. Like,
yeah, I know. I need to remind myself that. I'm like, I think just showing up to do anything is inspiring and people love that. So that's what counts, not the running stuff. So, yeah. But again, the best thing about triathlon is like you still do the running and you still do swimming and you do cycling, biking.
Yeah, biking,
yeah. I'm never going to live that down.
Everyone says that. Everyone says that.
Okay, good. I'm glad it's not just me.
But you know what's funny? If you do become a triathlete and you decide you want to do a marathon, the only way you can do it is through an Ironman.
Yeah. Oh, no. I keep seeing all these inspiring videos of people doing Ironmans, and I'm like, wow, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I have
guys, what do we reckon the timeline is for Georgia doing an Ironman? Because I remember before it was absolutely not even a triathlon, and now she's like, I'm a triathlete. She hasn't even done a triathlon yet, and she's just saying she's a triathlete.
I did not say that, thank you.
Nah, you did.
Nah. Oh, dear. I don't know what the timeline is, Matt, but I'm sure the harder you work at, chiseling away at me.
I'm calling my shot now. She will do Ironman WA 70.3, so a half Ironman, December 2026.
Nah,
so
no
13
way.
Months. 13 months, guys.
13 months?
You heard it here first. It's literally the first week of December 2026. It's the week before my birthday. It could be a birthday present to me, which you never get me one. So
Now
Yeah.
you've really guilted me.
Yeah, I'm pulling out all the stops. So I don't even tell people when my birthday is.
Oh no,
So yeah,
guys.
I'm gonna bully you into this.
In the nicest way, guys. Don't stress. It's fine.
It's
He's
not gonna be
bullying
fine.
me. He's bullying me, but not really bullying me. Anyway, let's get on to the questions that were sent in by you guys via our lovely little chat box that we put up during the week. So last week we spoke about social media and how to get started in like social media with running or whatever it is that you like to do. So we, popped a chat box up and you guys wrote some lovely questions in, but we've picked kind of the best ones to answer today and we're going to go through those. Matt, I sent you the questions. Do you want to kick things off?
Yeah. So from Sean, we have, what do you hold or stick to your phone to take your videos from different angles?
Matt's like, what the heck?
Yeah.
I actually I don't stick or hold anything. I just use my phone. It is very hard to describe without having the camera. So
Guys, check it out on YouTube.
I was going to say this might be one for our YouTube friends. Basically, I hold my phone with my thumb on the left side of the phone and the rest of my fingers on the right side of the phone. And then I just flip it around.
Oh, you got to use the reverse camera.
Got to use the reverse camera.
Don't use your front camera, yeah.
Nah, front camera's rubbish. And
0.5.
0.5. Good job. Taught you well. So yeah, I am basically holding my phone out straight and then turning it around and pretty much just like holding it out as far as I can. There is another way to hold it, like the same way I just explained for the front of the camera. If you actually just turn your phone around and hold it that way as well, that's another way you can do it. So you're holding it like that. Again, sorry guys who are listening on Spotify or something, but yeah,
just hold it with the reverse camera facing you.
Hold it with the reverse camera facing you, thumb on the left. That's fine. It depends. Some of them gets more of your arm in it and some of it gets less of your arm. So you just play around with it. But yeah, I don't actually run with a handheld camera or anything like that. We did try the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 for a bit, but just found it wasn't great in varying lights. Like you've really got to set it up for a certain light, use it, and it's amazing. But if you're running in the park and there's like trees and then there's sunshine, it doesn't cope very well. So
I feel like the gimbal's a little bit slow on it too. Like if you move your head really quickly, like while you're running, or you move your arm quickly, you like can't keep up.
I agree. I do find it's very laggy. So now we kind of just use it if we are doing like sponsored content and need close-up shots of shoes while running and stuff like that. You can't get with a phone. So yeah.
And let's be fair to them. The iPhones now, like they're so good, you can't tell.
It's crazy. And since like Apple gave me this one, which is I think the 16 Pro Max, it's so much better than even just, I think I had the 13 or 14 before. So it's worlds better. It has like stabilization, heaps of different stuff. So yeah, nothing to stick on, just using my phone in my hand.
Kate says, what apps do you use to edit your videos and add in captions?
So Matt and I spoke about this during the week about captions and stuff. So I use CapCut. I do sometimes edit in TikTok, but I actually just find it way easier to do it on CapCut because then you can save it and then upload it to wherever you want to upload it. I make sure I choose my own font and keep the font the same for all of my captions throughout all of my videos. And I make it small enough that you can still read it, but not huge that it doesn't take up the whole screen because otherwise people are really just watching the captions. They're not actually watching you. So yeah, I use CapCut. I unfortunately pay for it because the ads just did my head in and that's what they want. So now I pay for it. It's like $130 a year or something stupid.
Well, but, considering how much you use it, that's a bargain.
Yeah, look, it's not too bad compared to
it's like a center video.
Yeah. Compared to like, I don't know, Adobe or something that's absolutely wild. Yeah, and I can claim it on tax, so it's fine. But yeah, I just, when you used to get something for free and then it's not free and you're just like, ugh.
Yeah. Feels. I've been using edits.
Oh,
Instagram one. Yeah.
I need to get into that more because apparently using edits obviously helps with your algorithm on Instagram a little bit more and it kind of gives you more stats, I've noticed, if I've ever edited in edits.
Edit's got like its own analytics built into it. I just find it's like a way more intuitive app. Feels like more like grabbing an Apple product versus an Android product. You know, when you pick up an iPhone, you just like know how to use it.
Yeah.
I feel like edits is like that, where like when I was using CapCut, I was like, had to go looking for stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I get that. I think, I don't know, I haven't used edits in a while, but I love on CapCut that you can, like enhance the voice and it kind of cuts out a bit of the background
You can do
noise.
that on edits.
Yeah, like it used to just be noise cancellation and I always
Mm-hmm.
found it made my voice sound super weird. So then I started using like enhanced voice, which was a lot better. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like what you're used to, I guess.
For sure. Like I use
Yeah.
Final Cut for a lot of stuff, like for YouTube. And everyone tells me to use Adobe, and I cannot use Adobe. I just like it just doesn't. My brain doesn't work the way Adobe likes to work. But like Final Cut's great, so it's just
Yeah.
user preference.
It's a different language, Adobe. Like, I remember when I
Yes.
used to use Illustrator for when I did fashion design, and oh my God, just wrapping your head around that is just so hard. And then they bring an update out and everything's changed.
Everything changes. Yeah, disaster.
Yeah. Ugh. But yeah, no, I definitely recommend CapCut. I know some people were really stressed about, how they are sharing to other platforms. They're sharing kind of your data and stuff like that, and they own your video once you use it. But I don't think a lot of people realize that Instagram and TikTok do the same stuff. So
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
ultimately you don't actually really own anything on any device. So it's kind of
Once
like,
it's on the internet, mate, she's gone.
yeah, lean in a little bit because
Yeah.
like you can't live with that kind of stuff. But anyway, whatever.
Yeah. Brendan says, "How did you get started working with brands? How do I work with brands like you do?"
Oh,
I think this will be a good one.
this is a great
This is
one.
what everyone wants. Everyone wants shoes.
Everyone wants the free shoes. Everyone asks me for free shoes. I get this question so often and I'm so happy to answer it because I don't know, someone's got to tell everyone, like there's no point gatekeeping this kind of thing. So unfortunately for you guys, I can't just be like, this is exactly like, here's the email, go and like email the people. Most of the time, brands will always reach out to me. Actually, I would say 99% of the time, brands will reach out to me. I have an email in my link tree in my bio, which is super helpful. So if they want to reach out, they can. It's super easy. They can send through all the details. But I think I just want to go back to like how you can get brands to email you. So say, for example, you absolutely love LSKD and you want to work with LSKD. Start making content with their product. So if you already love the brand, you already have product. So use their product, get a video as if they've sent you the product. So just get your normal order, unbox it like you would if you'd actually been given the product for free. Do a video. This is what I like. This is the color I got. This is how I'm using it in my run, or this is what I recommend, or this has got good support. It doesn't chafe here. Like tell people why you love the product and tag them in it. Like they're not going to notice you if you don't tag them. They get millions of tags all the time. So jump on, make a video, post it about the brand, and just keep doing that over and over and over again. Almost like annoy the crap out of them until they're like, wow, this girl makes a lot of content for us. We're going to send her something. And then just start building the relationship. Start posting the content that they ask you to post. If you're happy to get free stuff, then get the content, like do the content in exchange for the free stuff and tag them. Make sure, you're sharing it. Sometimes they'll give you an affiliate code. Make sure you're using that so that they can track how many people are actually buying products through your post. That is super, super important. For bigger name brands, it can be tricky to get started. For example, ASICS reached out to me to come to one of their events. I went to one of the events and I just made sure I talked to people. So I'm very lucky that I live in Sydney, so there's lots of like brand events happening. But, I went and spoke to the girl who I know is doing their social media. I spoke to the person who was behind, the brand and the marketing and stuff like that. Introduce yourself, be a nice, normal human being and don't expect anything in return and just turn up, be happy, do free content for them, like of the event, and then post it. And then maybe next time they'll consider you. But it's not as easy as just like one day getting 10 pairs of shoes. Like I've been doing content for ASICS for nearly 3 years now and posting it for them and not asking for anything in return, not being like, I need to get paid for this, just being myself. What else do you think I should talk about, Matt, in terms of like landing brand deals?
I think this is the biggest mistake newer people make when they maybe get their first quote unquote brand deal, they get gifted something for the first time. Let's say that they've done all these posts and X brand has acknowledged them, hey, we're going to send you some shoes, send you some
Yep.
shorts, whatever it is. And they go, awesome, I got the free shit. And then they stop. They don't,
Yeah.
they don't do or they'll just do like a one story, like, hey, I finally got gifted some shit. And then they don't continue to foster the relationship. Like
Yeah.
they forget who they went to the dance with. So I think I see that all the time. Like it's one of the big things in triathlon that has a lot of brands. Like it's really hard to get gifted shit in triathlon. Like it's not the same as it is in running. But that's because people get free shit and then they dip. Like that's a very well known. So I would say whatever amount of content you were doing to get noticed, when you finally get given something, ramp it up. Like show them like, hey, this was a good investment and you're going to get a return on this investment, even if it is just for sheer horsepower.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree with that, sentiment is that, don't just drop off the face of the earth. Like keep, if you're getting something for free, like you're obviously already happy to go and buy something. Like keep buying products from them and be like, do more than they ask you to do. Yeah. And also I just want to touch on what you said before, like foster the relationship. And so a lot of the brands that I work with now, I've been working with mostly the entire time that I've been running, and I will continue to tag them in stuff. Like I will continue to be like, hey guys, like thanks so much for this. I really appreciate it. Or I don't know, I just make sure that I'm continuing so that when they're coming to their next campaign, they're like, who can we use and who do we know is reliable and who do we know is going to keep posting the product and stuff. So that's always really helpful. If you want to start getting paid by brands, and now I know this can be a bit of a funny subject, a lot of people don't talk about this. So brands will happily pay you if they are a really big brand. Don't expect small brands to pay anything for your content because they probably don't have the budget for it. And that's why they want to gift you product. But the best thing you can do is just ask. So, I mean, there's nothing to lose by asking. So I just say like, hey guys, did you have a budget for this? And then that way the brand will either say, yep, we have a budget. This is how much we're willing to pay, or sorry, we don't have a budget at this time. And then you kind of just go from there. But generally, once you start working with brands more, they love your content. They want your content to go out there. And so they will happily pay you for your products. And then that's how, influencers can start making a lot of money, is that they just charge more and more and more every time they grow and get bigger and stuff like that. So yeah, there's lots of ways you can make money. You can either ask them through the brand deals or through affiliate codes, which is another really great way to earn money.
Yeah. And I think people are speaking from the business owner side of it. A lot of influencers are too quick. Say influencers in brackets, content creators, whatever you want to call yourself.
Yeah.
They're too quick to jump the gun on asking for money. Like they will do one post and then be like, okay, next time I want $1,000. You'd be like, what are we talking about here? Like you've done one post that generated 0 sales. It's like that does not mean you can start charging. Like you need to be able to produce an ROI. And that's why affiliate codes are so great and gives you so much leverage as a content creator. Like, for example, if I brought on a sponsored athlete for the performance project and they had an affiliate code and they said, I have given you 10 athletes.
Yeah.
They have proven that they can generate revenue for my business. So I'm like, awesome. Like, cool. You are a valuable asset. Like, how can I contribute to you and make you more valuable? So, don't be too quick to jump the gun. Find ways that you can prove, even if it is like someone DM you say, hey, I bought these shorts because of you, or I got these shoes because of you. And then you could stack 4, 5, 6 screenshots up. Like, hey guys, just so you know, like all these people bought because of me. Like, can we talk about an affiliate code or something like that? Find your leverage point. Don't just go in asking for shit. Don't go in with your hand out because business owners will just scrap you because there is a million more content creators. They can just go to the next person.
Yeah, definitely. And don't underestimate the power of like a review, because I had a lovely, like amazing follower reach out to a brand that I'd worked with quite a few times in the past. And she actually said, hey guys, I just want to let you know, like I spoke to Georgia on social media. She was super helpful and she actually recommended your shorts to me. I came and bought them and I just wanted to let you guys know that that actually came through Georgia because they don't have an affiliate program. And yeah, the brand messaged me and they're like, wow, this is incredible. We've never had someone reach out with this kind of review before. And then they ended up booking a paid campaign with me because they were like, let's work together again because, we trust that you are producing content that your following really engages with, that they trust. And that is a big part of my brand, is like building the trust with my following and making sure they know that if I am talking about a product, it's just something I genuinely like and something that I wear a lot myself. And I would never just post something and be like, oh yeah, hey, go buy this, it's great. And then it sucks because as soon as someone gets the product and it sucks, they're going to be like, oh, that was like the biggest lie ever. So make sure you're authentic and yeah, make sure if you are getting those DMs from people, send it through to the brand. I'm sure they'd love to see it.
Yeah. And alternatively, because I have just recently gone through this, don't lie about that. Don't say, oh, all these people, I've referred all these people have reached out to me. Because then when the brand asks for it and you can't provide it, you are blacklisted. I literally have just gone through this where someone was like, a supplier that we were going to use said, oh, all of your athletes have been reaching out to us saying that they want you to use our product. I'm like, oh, awesome. What athletes? I'd love to just see what they see in your product. And they just didn't reply. So, and I was like, oh, well, we're just
So
not going to use you anymore.
awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just missed out on like a $20,000 order. So
Yeah.
when we talk about don't lie, just be genuine.
Yeah, be genuine, definitely. But yeah, if a brand says to you like, hey, do you want to do an affiliate thing? Sign up to it because then you can use that, as Matt said, as your leverage. And, you'll always have access to see what the back end is and you can see how many people are making sales. So yeah, like especially with brands like LSKD, I can see in the back end of how many people have purchased things and what kind of link they've come through. And that way I can always then use that to show LSKD or other brands to be like, hey guys, like this is what my following has been doing. This is how much sales I've generated for you guys. And they're like, yep, amazing. Here's XYZ, or here's like a month's worth of kit or whatever it might be that you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cool. Grace says, I actually like this question. How much do followers actually matter when it comes to brand deals or affiliate programs?
Now, I know what Matt's going to say here because when he first took me on at the Performance Project, I had like hardly any followers.
I saw the potential, guys.
He saw the potential in me. And hey, look where that has gotten me. Co-owner. Woo. So good. No, jokes. I earned that. I actually don't think following matters a huge amount. I think the only time it kind of matters is more when you're trying to say how much you want to be paid. A lot of people do say, like, if you read online and stuff like that, a lot of people say that you go by the 10% rule. So whatever your following is, 10% of that you can kind of leverage for how much you want to be paid. Now, some brands will happily pay this. Some brands are like, what the heck? Like, we are not paying that at all. But when it doesn't matter with your following is that if you build an audience that trusts you, you can ask for more than what someone with a huge following has that has zero trust and their audience just doesn't convert. And so the brand will go, okay, well, the return on the investment here is next to nothing because yes, they have a big following, but they're spruiking products every 2 days. And so no one trusts what they're saying, as opposed to someone who maybe gets content and they might, gets product, and they might post like 2 or 3 reels about the product. They talk to you about what is great about it, what might not be great about it, that what they love, things that they, use and stuff like that. And so I think, when you've got a smaller following, you have probably more time. And so you can actually invest that time into making content that is more helpful for other people. I think just not being too caught up in the numbers is important. You can still have absolutely amazing content and not have 100,000 followers, especially if you're in a bit of a niche, area, or if it is quite saturated like running is at the moment. So yeah, I wouldn't say you need a huge amount. I do think you do need a bit of following, a couple of thousand at least, to start working with brands.
Yeah, I think that somewhere between 2,000 and 4,000, depending on the brand that is reaching out, the brand attention you're trying to get.
Yeah.
That's like a pretty good number. I think I might have got my first one around that 2,000 follower mark. From the business owner side of it, that might be a better way that we do this, Georgia. You talk about the creator and I'll talk about the business side.
Yeah.
And George is a great example. She probably had we actually can't remember. I think it was about 3,000. We've had this conversation a few times, somewhere around
Okay.
in that 2 to 4,000 window. But the reason like we went after Georgia, she was our first sponsored athlete, is like I looked at the message that was behind the content. I was like, is what she's saying valuable? Is what she's saying like is there a reason behind it? Is like she trying to send a certain message to a certain niche or demographic? I was like, ticked all of those boxes. And then you started to see the engagement level. So if she got, I don't know, 200 views on a reel, she might have got 10 comments, which is crazy engagement. Like some people
Yeah.
will get 100,000 views and not get 10 comments.
Yeah.
And then that has continued to scale up. So that's still what we look for now is like, I want to know if they are posting a reel that people give a shit. Like,
Yeah.
like it's all well and good. Like there's, all the OnlyFans girls who get 1 million followers and 1 million views per reel, no comments, no nothing. It's just a girl. So like, who's more valuable, a girl with 1 million followers who no one gives a fuck, or someone with 3,000 followers? When they post a reel, you're like, you know what? Like, she hit the nail on the head. Like, that was a really good bit of content. So,
Yeah. And that's, that's nothing to do with like, she's got 1 million followers and because she's on OnlyFans. If she is on OnlyFans and she had 3,000 followers and a really engaged audience, that's amazing. And, I think that's where don't get into the trap of being like, oh, we just comment on people's stuff, being like, oh my God, yay, babe, love it, or anything like that. Like, don't get into like engagement pods and stuff like that. It's not actually helpful. Brands can see straight through it when
100%.
they can see that your best friend is commenting on every single post being like, oh my God, what is your favorite shoe? Or it just looks fake. So, really engaging with your audience and making sure, when you are posting something that you are also engaging with other people's posts and asking questions and stuff. And that's how you build your own community. It's not just about you. Make sure, as I said, talk to other people as well. But yeah, the engagement rate is a huge one. Brands will always look at engagement rate. And if they're not looking at the engagement rate, they're not doing their job properly. They should definitely be looking at that. So yeah, work on getting that higher.
Yeah. And the last bit I'll add to that is, what is the problem you are solving as a content creator? Because what do businesses do? Businesses try to solve a problem. So the Performance Project, we try to solve the problem of taking everyday people to endurance athletes. If someone makes content that helps them somewhere along that journey, their content matches our problem. So they're trying to solve our problem. So there is like a natural synergy there. So really think about the problem you were trying to solve, and does that problem line up for business? So if you're like, I want everyone to have the best running shoes, like Jog on Crago.
Yeah.
I want everyone to have the best running shoe for them, and he just makes content about running shoes. So like any running shoe, they go, hey, I think he would give a great review. Like, I think like our shoe matches up. Boom, they'll send it to him. If you want girls to have the best sports bra ever, and you make content about LSKD, and that's what you want, like LSKD will see that and they'll go, cool, like that content solves our problem. So I think that's a really helpful way from both sides to sort of solve that.
Super helpful. And that's really helpful in like making sure when you are setting up, like what we spoke about last week, building your own personal brand, is like what kind of what problem can I solve as one? And then also like how can I educate other people is a really big one as well. What can someone take away from my content? Okay, if I'm Jog on Crago, people are taking away knowledge about the shoes, or they're taking away, okay, maybe that shoe might not be for me. But that also stems down to the fact that his audience trusts him. So he always gives an honest review. He never talks shit. He always makes sure that what he's saying is backed up by, actual stats or whatever it is. And so, if you are talking about a sports bra, make sure you do your due diligence and make sure like, okay, actually test the product. Like, don't just post about a product and be like, oh, it doesn't chafe, because people will get it. And if it chafes, they're like, you're full of shit. And then back to the problem of not having trust.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Melissa said, how do you deal with comparing yourself to other runners on Instagram, especially when they seem to be improving faster than you?
I don't. It is a never-ending battle. It is tough. Like, you see people who start out with less followers than you and they post consistent, amazing content, and then they might get 50, 60,000 followers in the time it took you to get to 10. So it can be really hard. But I have to remind myself that at the moment I've got 12.8 thousand followers. that's 12,000 people is a lot of people. Like, I do feel like we get caught up in the numbers a little bit. And so that's still a lot of people. My audience is engaged. So it is very hard to not compare yourself to other people, especially when they're growing their Instagram more, they're getting more paid deals, they're, building these amazing brands. Maybe they're going full time, they're no longer working their full time job, they're doing this as their job. And then they can go and do all the races you want to do and they're getting faster and all these things. But uh, I don't really have an answer to that. I'm sorry, because it's still something I deal with and I struggle with is comparison. But I guess I just do my best to not let it affect me too much. And if it's, someone's content that I feel like, because they're faster or something like that, I just try not to look at their content, or maybe I'll engage with their content, but just not, I mean, I know some people who mute other creators if they're just for a bit, if it's affecting their mental health. There's other tips like that, but for me, there's not really much I can say, unfortunately. Matt, how do you deal with that? Because I know you do. Yeah, you do, especially with like sub 10 and stuff like that. If there's other creators out there doing like their first Ironman and they're like doing it in sub 10, how do you cope?
I mean, I don't really give a fuck, if I'm perfectly honest.
Chalk and cheese.
Yeah. Sometimes it does bother me where I just not bother's not the right word. I'm just like a bit perplexed where like someone will get their first tri bike and they're like, oh, my FTP is fucking 330 watts, and I'm like, I've been training for 3 years and mine's 280. Like, I just don't get it. And sometimes I'll just be, I'm just a bit confused, and I'm just like, oh, I wouldn't say it bothers me. I'd say for anyone who's a creator, if I see someone come into the tri space and they're brand new to try and like, I'm doing my first Ironman, and they get fucking 50,000 followers.
Yeah.
I just go, yes, that's a little bit shitty. But then I just think, what have they done? Like, they've done something well. Like, you do not get that traction. You do not get brand deals. You don't do that unless you're doing something well. So I'm like, what can I learn from them? So once I finish having a little bit of a temper tantrum and I like decide to be an adult about the situation, I go, cool. Okay, well, in the time it took me to do 7 posts, they did 40 posts. I'm like, okay. And their first post got 100 views, and their last post got 40,000 views. I'm like, oh, so they've consistently gotten better every single post. I'm like, cool. Like, let's watch from post 1 to post 40. And I'm like, what have they done? What have they changed? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's me personally. But yeah, if I see someone who is a better athlete than me, I'm just like, congratulations, dude. Like, good for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And like looking at other people's content is a really great way to be inspired to be better in your own. Don't go out and like copy people's content, because like I feel like people see straight through that and they're like, oh, that's very similar to my favorite creators' content. And then you're like, that can happen. I think look at what they're doing, take maybe the framework of what they're doing. Okay, they're doing a lot of education. They're doing a lot of like, come with me to do this, or they're doing like, here is like what I did for socials for the marathon. I did my sub 4 diaries. So yeah, there's like lots of things you can learn from other people without having to blatantly just do the same thing they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. What was the other thing I was going to add? Don't like someone's performance, whether they are a faster runner, does not make their social media. So like, just because someone's training for a sub 3 or a sub 4, like imagine there was 2 Georges, one training for sub 3 and one training for sub 4, and they made identical content. They just changed the 3 and the 4. Sub 3 Georgia does not get more followers because it's a more higher performance goal. Like that's actually irrelevant. It's just the quality and consistency of the content. So I would not compare myself to the outcome. I would compare myself to the process.
Yeah. And some of my favorite creators, like they're running marathons in over 5 hours, and that's their whole thing is like, they're like, you don't have to be a certain time to run a marathon. You don't have to be a certain age. If you're just getting out there and doing it, that's what people are inspired by. So yeah, I think that's really important. But it can look, I'm not going to lie and say, oh, I just don't let it affect me and stuff like that, because it does. It affects me. I see people out there and I'm running my 5th marathon sub 4, and they're doing their first marathon sub 4. Same with Matt and his sub 10. Like there's so many times out there that I've just gone like, oh fuck, like I'm doing everything I can and I'm working so hard, but that's fine. This is my journey. This is what I'm doing. I just have to focus on myself, not worry about other people. And yeah, just keep trying to bring great content and keep working with the brands that I love. And that's what matters.
Yeah. And I think the other big thing with social media too is if you see someone and they're running a sub 3 hour marathon, I promise you 30 seconds after you've scrolled past, you've forgotten about them. But all you've done is remembered how it felt. If I asked you what was their handle, you'd be like, fuck. I think it was like, just don't let it play in your head. Like, who gives a fuck?
Who gives a fuck? I love
Yeah.
it.
It's
Do
great
you have any more
advice.
questions?
Yeah, last one from Alec. How do you handle posting slower runs or bad races without feeling embarrassed online?
Oh God, look at my last reel that I just did.
Yeah, story of my
Um,
posting career.
Yeah, look, to be honest, that's one thing I don't care about is posting runs that are crap. I quite enjoy posting runs that are crap. I actually live on that. Yeah, my last one was all about the fact that my Sunday run just wasn't going to plan. I actually feel like that is some of my most relatable content is the stuff where I'm just being like, this sucks. And people are like, oh, so refreshing. So yeah, I actually don't stress about times. I don't look at elapsed time. I just post my workout. I couldn't care less if the pace was not seen as amazing or anything crazy. That is one thing I really don't give a shit about is doing a workout and then be like, whoa, what if people judge me on the time or how slow it took or whatever it might be? Yeah, that doesn't bother me at all. How about you, Matt?
Yeah, same boat. Like, just do not give a fuck. Um, so, advice for life. I just think I've said this a million times in however many other podcasts we've done. It's like everything's relative. Like, just because you are a slower runner than someone else, like we're all slower than fucking Kipchoge. So like, what are we talking about? Yeah, like slow compared to what? Just because you're slow compared to your friend? Like, okay, who gives a fuck? Like, slow compared to the bloke down the street? Okay, who gives a fuck? Like, everyone's slow compared to something. There's always a bigger fish. There is
Yeah.
always a bigger fish. So like, I it's something I've been really trying to do, like, especially with my athletes, is when they message me and they go, oh, this run was so slow. I'm like, slow compared to what? And they're like, it just seems slow. And I'm like, well, actually, it was like your third fastest run. Just because it has a 7 at the front or an 8 at the front, like, okay, it's fast for you. So I'd say that's awesome. So
Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
Yeah. Well, friends of ours have just moved home from the UK and they have been sending us their daily kind of runs that they've been doing. And they're like, oh, we did 10 minutes nonstop today. And then we did 20 minutes nonstop. They're doing, a little program online. And the other day, she actually said to me, she's like, oh, don't look at my Strava. It's embarrassing. And I was like, why is it embarrassing? She goes, well, I'm running really slow. And I was like, what do you mean you're running slow? She goes, I'm running like 7:20s. And I was like, that's the pace I started out at. Like you don't run. You're starting to run. I didn't run, and that was the pace I ran when I was starting out. So it's fine. You're learning how to run. And she's like, yeah, but it's so slow. And the same thing. I said, compared to what though?
Mm.
And she's like, oh, compared to everyone online. And I was like, yeah, but they've been running longer than you. You just started like a month ago.
Yeah.
So it is very much like, and the one thing that was the biggest learning curve over the entire training block of this year that Matt really drilled into me was it's like totally relevant to you and like what you're running now, someone else could be running faster but they could have done little athletics as a kid or water polo or they're,
Lifelong
coming.
athlete that represented Australia in rugby league.
Yeah,
Like, you just
yeah,
don't know.
yeah. Yeah, and like there's some amazing people out there doing like Grace online. She did her first Ironman and then qualified for Kona straight away, right? But in her content she talks about the fact that she's like, yeah, you might have just come on board now seeing the content that I'm doing now that's about Ironman. She's like, but I used to be a pro tennis player in high school. Like I went to America and did college tennis.
Yeah, D1 college, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like you don't see that side of the content. So sometimes you just have to remind yourself, okay, this is what I'm seeing right now, but I don't see what came in all the hard work before that, or the years and years and years of being an athlete or just doing sport and things like that, compared to maybe if you're just picking up running and that's the first sport you've ever played, you can't compare yourself. It's not the same thing at all.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, we talk about stacking bricks, right? So like stacking bricks week on week, month on month, block on block. When you start talking about those athletes who have been athletes since they were 6, they've literally, and maybe they're 26, 28, 30 now, they've literally got 2 decades head start on you of stacking bricks, of training consistently. Just because it wasn't endurance training, there's still bricks. They still count. Like every time they're in the gym, it counted. Every
Yeah.
time they were doing plyometrics, it counted. Every time they do sprint training, it counted. So like they've literally got a 20-year head start on you, and you're comparing yourself to them after 3, 6, 12, 18 months, whatever it might be. Like just apples with apples, guys, not apples and oranges.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. So yeah, just to kind of sum things up, with building your own brand online and how to kind of become, I guess, a quote unquote runfluencer. I think that's a bit of a buzzy term at the moment, but yeah, start. If you love certain brands, make sure buy the brand, post videos as if it was sponsored content. Just make content as if it's sponsored content, and you might just land the brand deal. So that's one big tip. If you are wanting to then make content for that brand and they do send you something for free, make sure you're then, continually making content for them. Don't drop off the face of the earth after that. Matt, what else were we talking about? We had affiliate codes. Make sure you use those to the best of your ability so that you can show the
Create
brand.
leverage. Yep.
Create leverage.
Yeah, and just I think that, like the biggest one's like fostering relationships. Like for me, especially as a business owner, I want the athlete, creator, whoever, to be like, I made this. Is there anything I missed out? Was there something I could have done better? Like, what can I do? Like, is there anything I can do for you? Like, constantly reaching out, hand out to how can I help, not what can I take.
Yes.
And like what George is a great example. When she started, she was like, "Was this post all right? Like, I could do this. I can do this. I have all these different ideas." I like, awesome. Like, how do we? Before we'd even started training, she'd listed out all of these things, and I was like, awesome. Like, this is a straight away in my head, I go, long-term relationship. Like, lock this down. This is going to work. Whereas someone just posts and goes, sweet, thanks, see you later. You're like, oh, you're out of sight, out of mind now. Like, to try and get back into that circle, very, very difficult. Once you're in, lock it in, stay in there.
Definitely building the relationships and, like heading to events, talking to the people of the event, thank them for inviting you. They could have chosen anyone else but you. So make sure, thank them for having you. Do a follow-up email like, hey guys, just want to say thanks so much for the event. I had a great time. I actually posted this reel. Not sure if you saw it. Link the reel that you posted for them or the TikTok or whatever it is. Make sure you're fostering the relationship with the brand, but also with your community as well, making sure, you're giving honest reviews. Don't post something that you don't like it. There's been plenty of times that I've had brands send me stuff and I've just said, look, guys, I'm sorry, I don't feel comfortable posting this review. And, I said, do you mind if I post something that might be an honest review? And they're like, yeah, sure, do that. Or some brands are like, hey, please don't, that batch obviously wasn't good, we'll pull the batch or something like that, or whatever it is that might be wrong with the product. And so
this exact topic I reckon I've lost more brand deals than I've got, because my first reply to any brand is, I will not do any form of content unless I can be 100% honest. If you're not interested, then we can just end it here. And so many brands would be like, oh, nah, we probably won't. And I was like, no worries. Like, that's sweet.
You obviously don't trust your own product if you're
yeah,
worrying.
exactly. And I'm just like, well, you just saved me a bunch of time because now I don't have to think about it. What was the other thing you said? I can't remember now. Fuck. I hate when I forget shit. It's one of my pet peeves.
Just make sure, you're just being honest, but also like, you also don't want to bite off more than you can chew. Like, don't just continually get free stuff because it can get a lot. Like, I turn down stuff all the time because I'm like, one, it's really fucking wasteful. And two, I'm just like, I genuinely don't have time to make content for you guys to then give you the return on the investment for me as a person. And I think half the time they respect that a lot more. And if I do get given stuff that I haven't kind of asked for in terms of like PR and stuff, I usually just keep it in a big bucket, and then when my friends come over I just give them stuff. Or I give shoes away to people. But yeah, just don't bite off more than you can chew. Just make sure don't do too much at once is kind of what I'm trying to say. Make sure you're keeping it authentic.
Yeah, and I have 2 points. One I remembered, and one you just told me about. Conflict of interest. So if you say this particular shoe is the best shoe ever, let's just say it is Adidas, and then ASICS send you a shoe and it is the comparable model. Like let's say they just send you the most super shoes. Don't then say Asics is the best shoe ever. Be like, do a comparison. Be like, hey, I like Adidas for this and Asics for this reason. Do not just say they're both awesome, because like if you're just not being authentic. And same with like conflict of interest in terms of brands. So different clothing brands, things like that. Just like be very, very careful with how you structure things if you're doing multiple brands. And the last one was, at least we follow this in business, is like one platform, one avatar till $1 million. Like that. It's like that's like a business thing. So
Oh,
you would,
okay, yeah.
so you would only post, like, say, I think when people start this social media thing, they're like, I'm going to post it on Instagram, TikTok, I'm going to start a LinkedIn, a YouTube, and they do all these things, a Twitter, X or whatever it's called now. Just pick one, solve one problem for one person. So beginner runners, beginner triathletes, sports diet, like someone who wants to learn about healthy eating, whatever it is, on one platform, do it consistently.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. If you can't pick between two platforms, just recycle the content across both and just same. Don't make it hard of yourself. But yeah, my only other thing I was just going to say really quickly, I digress really quickly, is if you do want to reach out to a brand, I know lots of people do this. I've only done it like once before. And then after that, I was like, never again. It's just so awkward. I can't deal. But yeah, if you do want to reach out to a brand, obviously finding their email, and then like what we spoke about before with the return on investment, tell them what you are going to give them. Don't ask for free stuff. I think the worst thing you can do is like straight off the bat, just be like, hey guys, can I get free stuff? And they're going to be like, no, go away. So make sure, you're emailing them, you've done your research, it's a product you already like. You could give them links to kind of videos you've done before. You can say, hey guys, this is, here's 3 examples of my previous work that I've done for these brands. I would love to incorporate your brand. Here's what I can do for you. And then if they want to work with you, they will reach back. If they don't pester them. There's someone behind that email having to go through hundreds and thousands of requests every day. So yeah, just make sure that if you are going to reach out to brands, you're letting them know why they should choose you.
Yeah. I think that's it, mate.
Cool. Perfect. Well, this has been episode 42 of Beyond the Finish Line. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you jump over to Instagram and follow us at beyondthefinishline_pod. Head over to wherever you get your podcast, whether that be YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. Make sure you like, subscribe, download, leave us a review, do all of the fun things because we really appreciate it. But thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful week.
Hooroo.
Bye.